Welcome to the Token and the Truth. I am Lady Drea Renee. This is my lovely late co-host, Freddie B.
You already know what it is. Your man Freddie B. We in the building, talking in the truth, man. I'm late. I lost track of time, man. I got some big things going on. I'm definitely blessed. It's one thing I will say. It's so weird. August always seems to be like the month where big things happen. It's like August.
Ooh,
I don't know why August, but some of the biggest things that have happened since I moved to New York in this entertainment business. Well, not some of them. Pretty much all of them have happened in August. It was like a little break
Is that your
when
month?
I just noticed it one time. I moved up here and then I was living up here like 3, 4, 5 years, and I noticed I'm like August, when August come around, like things happen. And I just and I made a note, and then sure enough, like yeah, so this is another August. It was like a little break. It was like a little break there for the pandemic, and then when I was about to get married to the wrong person. So like those years, the last year we was together, and the year after that, they kind of took a break, and then obviously 2020 wasn't nothing shaking for nobody. So
no, it was not, sir.
But after that, we right back on it. So guys, well let's hop into it, man. Let's hop into today's episode. Shout out to everybody watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe and share. Comment, like, and subscribe and share. Support is free. Those are free things that you could do. You could just hit that little like button, bang, leave some comments, share, and subscribe. Go to our YouTube. Make sure you guys go to our YouTube, man, because we're gonna start pushing everything there. So go to that YouTube, man.
Retrograde. That is correct, Sharice. And just for you guys who are wondering, ooh, Drea has braids. It's Burning Man time. So I may or may not be here next week. If I can get some Wi-Fi on the playa in the dust, I'll be here for all of you lovely folks. But yeah, but we got some good topics today, you guys. We were going to be talking about why divorce is rampant in the Western world. As a lovely old couple that I found talking about divorce. We also have a guy who is saying to give up all the ladies in his life unless they are friends with his wife. I'm super excited to play this post and get comments. So guys, make sure that you comment. If you want to cam up, as Freddie loves to say, you can do that. The link will be put in the chat, right? Freddie's going to put it in the chat. So feel free if you want to cam up, give us your comments. And then we will also be talking about why women are accepting less than they deserve. And we show a clip of a guy who is talking about how the woman he wants isn't around. So he's just entertaining women that don't make any sense. So without further ado, I'd like to play our first clip. Now, look, this guy is a trip. I mean, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see what you guys think. So let's play and see what's going on here. All right, here we go.
Very strict rule when it comes to having female friends, and that is, if you are not my wife's friend, then you are not my friend. Many of you might see that as an extreme rule to have, be that as it may. There are reasons for that. Number one, dedicating time to another female that is not my wife just does not make any sense to me. Number two, if this woman is not my wife's friend, it means that we have a relationship that to some degree my wife is not aware about. Tell me if that sounds appropriate for a married man. Number three, I might know my intentions, but I will never know hers. And that's a conversation that I would love to avoid. And number four, let's assume that everything is innocent, nobody catches any feelings, and my wife is okay with it. People still talk. One thing you will not catch me out here doing is putting my wife in embarrassing situations. And I will be damned if my character is called into question. And the truth is that a peaceful home is a blessing that not many people come by. I have it. Why would I jeopardize that? Now, if you are a mutual friend, then you are welcome in my home, and we will treat you like family. However, if my wife does not know you, neither do I. I have a very strict rule.
Okay. Well, I feel like most people watching this just out the gate, they're probably going to try and call this guy a simp. I saw some of the comments, and people were going off praising him, actually, but then some people were calling him a simp. You guys can probably see Freddie B's comment right there at the top.
Hey, what I say? I forgot what I said. What I say?
Freddie B's comment, you guys. A woman say this. These same women calling him a king and praising him would be calling the husband controlling and insecure. I do agree with that.
Hey, I forgot I even commented on this when you sent it to me. But yeah, so since we see my comment, I'll hop in there. Look, So,
go
you know,
ahead.
I got two different takes. That's one of them. Because if you have a woman saying that, then you're gonna have a bunch of women telling blink twice if you in trouble, sis. Blink twice. The dude gonna be all types of abusive and all that. You can't have no friends, he control your life and da 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 da. So the thing is that all these women that's praising it is like, if that was the case for a woman, you got to keep that same energy. You can't be like, yeah, girl, yeah, hell no. You can't have no male friends unless he your husband friend. You can't be talking to no men unless he talk to your husband first, or whatever the case may be. You got to keep that same energy. But we know a lot of these feminists, real feminist driven women are a bunch of hypocrites. The hypocrites,
No, God.
they are allergic to self accountability, and they want their cake and eat it too. They want to be treated like women, but they also want to be treated like men. They want the respect, like they're a man, but then also chivalry is dead. Be a gentleman. Like, you're a man, you shouldn't treat me like this because I'm a woman. But then it's like, hey, no, we the same. No, we not. If one is the case, then one can't be the case. So that's the unfortunate part of things. But my second side of this is that I agree with him. I agree with what he's saying.
Oh,
You gotta make sure you bring your bell to Burning Man,
I will bring my bell.
just in case. But yeah, I agree with him. You know, if you a dude and you get married, like, it doesn't really make sense for you to have this female friend that's not a friend of your wife's. You know, it doesn't make sense, because the thing is that, like I said before, women are emotionally led, so that's why women have women's intuition. They can feel different things and catch vibes and all these types of things. And so you bring this woman around, your wife, and then there's two women, so she'll be able to know, like, oh yeah, she like you. And so then it's like a situation where you gotta have a discussion with your wife. Like, if that's the case, your wife, like, I'm sure, but hopefully you got some type of reasonable wife that she not just like, I think she like you, and she lands at the place where I think she like you, so she like you. You have a wife to where like she kind of comes at it with the standpoint of, Freddie, I think she like you. I'm not sure, but I think she like you. I think she likes you. So be careful.
Reasonable
I'm not gonna say
discernment. Reasonable
right.
discernment.
I'm not gonna say get her out of here, but you need to be watching, because I think she like you, and don't play with me or whatever she want to say. And then you got the other situation of where, like, she might know, like, oh yeah, she like you, like, nah, we can't do this, or whatever the case may be. But if you're a man and you're married to a woman, and you're married to you have a wife, and you have a you're a man and you have a wife, and you have female friends, like, your female friends should be your wife's friend. She can't be your wife's friend and she meets your wife and they don't hit it off. Like, what's the point? Like, why? I will never understand for the life of me why people be with this. This is my friend before you, and these my friends, and this, that, and the third. And it's like, who cares? Who the freak cares, man? Like, you gotta live with this person each and every day. Like, is this friendship worth that much to where you gonna be pissing off and having the person that you gotta go lay in the bed with every night, have them feeling some type of way? Is it worth that much? But to wrap it up, I will say, hopefully I have a wife that understands the maneuvering, especially just in business, but understands the extra maneuverability that you got to have in an entertainment game, and not just like, no, like, she understands, like, we can come together with like a plan of, like, if it's a dangerous woman, a dangerous room, I use that term very loosely, that we can come up with a plan to where how we could finesse the situation and make it work for the household.
Well, yes, I agree with most of what you just said. I will say I have experienced this situation where I do have a friend that, yeah, if I start dating someone, people aren't really happy necessarily about this friend. We've been friends for 11 years. 11 years. And
who cares?
I understand that, but he's like one of my best friends, right? So it is difficult when you start something new, and then you have to be like, yeah, this is one of my best guy friends, and it can get a little tricky, and it does get a little tough. And I do have a hard time with that because I am one of those people that, like, if I feel that it's a real platonic thing and you have a woman that I feel comfortable with, like, I'm fine with it. So to me, if it's someone I'm uncomfortable with and they're uncomfortable with, yes, I understand that your husband, your partner doesn't like it. That is going to be a tough situation, but I have been known to give a little bit of kickback. So this kind of situation, if this is what works for you, this is what works for you and your partner, and it's like, hey, I don't want you having any female friends. I don't want to make anybody feel like they can't just be who they truly are. So if this is working for both of you, I think that's fine. But it is tough when you do have a friend that you have had for a long time, and maybe you're dating somebody that possibly could just be insecure and they are jealous and they don't want you talking to anybody. That's like a different situation. But if you
I've been there.
yeah, if you do come across that situation, especially being in the industry, right? Because you are hanging out with men, you're talking to men, especially as an actress, you're doing scenes with people. You know, I've had acting classes where I had to kiss somebody and I have a boyfriend. That gets very strange. It gets very weird. And you kind of have to have a partner who's like, I understand the compartmentalizing that this is work and this is not, you know, something that's romantic. So, but I also understand too, that's how a lot of romances are started, with celebrities and stars and stuff. They're on set with people for 6 months and all of a sudden they have these little affairs. So, I also just want to speak to the men that are commenting on this guy, calling him a simp, saying he's whipped and all this stuff. I disagree with that, because it's like, you can do whatever works for you. And if you are that guy, then you do that. That's what works for you and your partner, and you guys should go do that. But I see that we have Sharice.
Wait. Before we bring the person on, I definitely want to speak. I think people overuse the words and people just throw it out.
Yes.
And don't really understand what it means. But I also want to get into this aspect, because you got a different angle where, especially as a man, this is more so happens with, on the man side, dating a woman and she has a friend, and a guy friend, but this guy friend is homosexual. That's a whole nother thing, and I do want to talk about that. But before we'll get into that, let's bring our guest commentator on. We'll bring on guest commentator. What's your name? Where you from?
Sharice.
Can't hear you.
I was muted. I am
okay.
Tariva. I am in Jersey right now. How y'all doing?
Hi, Sharice.
What's going on? Sharice from Jersey.
Yes. Hi, Freddie. Hey, Trey.
How you doing? So Sharice, so you I'm assuming you saw the video of the man talking about the women, and if you're not his wife's friend, you can't be his friend. You gotta go. You heard what I said. You heard what Drea said. What do you say?
I love it. It's yes, king for me. Yes. And also, if a female was saying that, I would definitely be like, blink twice, sis. Like, blink twice and let us
true. That's true.
So I technically am, like you said, a hypocrite at the end of the day when it comes to that. But I am. I love that.
And so, here's the thing. I appreciate you, calling it what it is. Like saying like, hey, look, yes, there is a large hypocritical nature here. But let's dig deeper there. Why are you a hypocrite as it pertains to
double standard?
No, this is not where double standards fit. But go ahead.
I mean, okay. Oh, we're gonna get started. Oh, let's do it, Freddie. So, because the way that he's saying it, and I look up here because I had y'all on my big screen today because I just wanted to see y'all live and in color and big.
Okay, big screen, live your life. Okay.
Hello. I feel like because of my past relationship, and probably because my perception and my trauma, right, is why I look at it that way. Because I've been in situations where men have been controlling and abusive, I would tell the girl to blink twice. Because I've been in situations where men have cheated and done all these other things, I appreciate this brother's gesture and his viewpoint. So maybe that's why I see it that way, So does that still make it hypocritical? I don't think so.
So no, it is. But let me ask you this: why?
Welcome, Sharice.
Why? Let me ask you: why is male abuse and controlling less accepted than women's abuse and controlling?
Male abuse.
Yeah, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, you have to. Can you
Okay.
go a little deeper? Because I need.
Okay. Let me turn around. Why? Because I stated it incorrectly.
Mhm.
Why is the abuse that women perpetrate and the controlling nature that women perpetuate on their men more accepted than when men do it?
You think that's abuse, Freddie?
Yeah, that's
Wait.
what.
No, because no, this is why I said that. I said that because she said she spoke to the trauma, which I would imagine that there's a lot of women in her place right now that experience that trauma, and you have those cues, those trigger points that trigger you. It's just like I say this to people all the time. It's like when you have a physical scar, if it's not totally healed and you touch it, you're gonna recoil because it's still sore. But once it fully heals, it's like another piece of skin, and you don't really notice it. So you have a lot of people in that case, because I've had plenty of talks with women dealing with sexual abuse. And so different things as they go in their life, especially those situations, is different things as they go in their life, they have these trigger points, which I get. I'm not by no means saying like, oh, you're wrong for that. That's just a part of it. It's just a healing part. And I'm not saying people just heal like that. It takes work. But if you haven't finished the work, you started the work, but you haven't finished it, there's still a trigger point.
Well,
and what you just said, there's still some trauma there from that abuse and the men being controlling as to why if a woman said it, you would tell sister girl blink twice if you're in trouble, but then vice versa. Because here's the thing, I've myself experienced firsthand abuse from a woman, and a woman being controlling in this nature, a woman trying to cut off everybody I know in one city and try to move me away from the city. So men go through the exact same thing. It's just that it's rare to hear a woman physically abuse a man. A man can physically abuse a woman, but a woman can emotionally and mentally torment a man to where he feel like killing himself. He feels like he's worthless. So women have the advantage mentally. Men have the advantage physically.
Yeah, abuse is abuse. So mental, emotional, physical, I'm going to call it abuse across the board. I do want to say something though. So when it comes to healing and trauma and triggering, like I do this work with the women in my program, and I don't ever think that you're fully healed from anything. I think that you're going to continuously be on this journey of self-exploration and healing. So when I say like, oh, that would be triggering for me, it's not that. But I don't think you'll ever be healed from that type of thing. I think when you leave this earth now, and people disagree, because I know you about to get on me.
No, I'm not. I like the audio because people just see my face. As long as you saw my face.
Yeah, we saw it, Freddie. We saw it.
I think the journey of healing is continuous and it'll never be done, right? So I don't think I like the scab analogy, but when it comes to emotional, sexual trauma, all of those type of things, I think there's layers to it, and that work will always, like, you could be 20 years down the line, have all the therapy, all the trauma healing in the world, and there's something that happens, and it's like, that doesn't mean that you're not healed. That means that you're doing the work. So I say that to say, is he being abused? Is he being emotionally abused?
I was just about to say that. I was like, this is not the vibe that I'm getting from this.
I'm not getting that vibe. I'm getting
two different things.
No.
I'm getting the vibe that he has also experienced some infidelity and maybe his partnership before, whether it was him executing the infidelity or the female at the time, and that he just wants his partner to feel safe and confident in their partnership. So that's what I'm getting from that, which is why it's a yes, King. Now, it's unfortunate, we do live in a society where there's double standards all the time. If I got on there, if Drea got on there and said this exact thing, I'd be hitting her up like, send me a white heart if everything is, I would be trying to make sure she was okay. And it's unfortunate that we view it that way, but if a
girl got on there and talked with such conviction, like, I can't be friends with no males, he got to be friends with you start thinking like, is she being trafficked? Like, what is going on? I don't know. That's unfortunate that it comes out that way, but it does.
So here's the thing. Like I agree with you guys. I didn't get the feel that he was being abused or anything like that because he owned his message. And so the thing is I think that we're losing the part to where I feel like we're going down this road of where women can't own their message either. Because the whole thing, see, like here's the thing with me.
Freddie?
My approach to women and my approach to my women, and when I say my women, I'm talking about just along the relax, ladies. I'm talking about along the pantheon of time. I've dated multiple women, so I haven't dated
At
just
one
one
time?
woman. No, I'm small. Well, I mean, in my 20s, early 30s, yeah, but not anymore. So, but here's the thing. When I say women like that, I'm all about empowering a woman in her confidence, in who she is, who she naturally is, empowering her. So the thing is that's how I treat and I talk and I handle women in the same manner I handle anybody. And so the thing is we don't get that from him because he owned the message. When he was talking, there was no doubt in his voice. You weren't looking at him like, I feel like he's being pressured to say that. So the thing is, what I'm saying is a woman can deliver the same message in the same power, in her own power, and own it and be confident in what she's saying. And we can listen to it, be like, yes, and not be like blink twice. But when I made that comment on there, the thing is that if a woman did it, even if she owned the message, which you guys just illustrated, there will still be people, and the majority, especially the feminists, but a large swath of women will tell homegirl to blink twice if she's in trouble. When the fact of the matter, like you just said, Sharice, abuse is abuse, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual abuse. These abuses happen, and they are just as dangerous. And I would go so far to say mental abuse is way more dangerous than physical abuse. And going back to what I was saying with the scab analogy, it's analogy, it's not a one-for-one, but it's just to illustrate the concept of what I was talking about with scabs and emotional wounds. Is like, for example, I have this scar. Can you guys see that scar on my fist? So this scar is fully healed. If I touch it, it doesn't feel sore or anything like that. But there still is a scar there. It doesn't look how it was created. And so going to what you say, I actually think we kind of saying the same thing with semantics with emotional scars. If they're deep, they never fully heal because visually it's gonna look different. It's not gonna be exactly the same as it was, but those triggers, like for example, if a woman got sexually assaulted by a boyfriend that went to school with her and they went a particular place and left there and walked down this road and it ended up home. For a while after that, if she walked down that same place, it's going to be like a trigger. Or he said some stuff right before he did it. Like all those things will be a trigger, but over time, those things won't be a trigger like that because one, hopefully, if this woman has done the work, she start to take back her life from that place. Because the thing is if a verbal trigger or a visual trigger like that take you back to that place, that means that you don't have control yet. And which it's a journey, right? It's all of us. We've all been hurt. We've all went through stuff, and it's about taking that control back. Drea has had journeys. Sharice, I'm sure you've had journeys. I've had journeys.
Freddie,
and so we got to take that power back.
Yes, and yeah, I agree, Freddie. I just think that unfortunately, when we are discussing a man kind of coming out and being like, I'm gonna adhere and let my wife sort of like navigate these things. I want to make sure she's the one that's feeling good and all this stuff. And if a woman does that, I think with our society today, it does just come off differently. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. If a woman's like, I'm gonna do what my man say, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure he's and you getting on social media and saying these things, yes, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna look at this woman and be like, because of the attitude. Listen, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It's just the way that it is.
No, but Dre, here's the thing.
Let me finish.
Okay.
There's a man doing this, being like, I'm gonna, veer to my wife, whatever she wants, whatever she needs, all this and that. It's just looked at differently. Men are gonna call him a simp, and all the women out there are gonna be like, yes, I'm not here for all that. But a woman doing that, I think just because of all the things I tell you about, Freddie, we're talking about our society as it is, not as it should be, right? Men have just been in control for so long. So when women see men doing these things now, they're like, Thank God, right? Like we are being praised, we're being empowered, we're being focused on. So that, in my opinion, is kind of where that attitude comes from. And that's what it lies in.
But go ahead, Sharice.
No, I agree. It looks like the balancing of the, it's been the masculine, the divine masculine
Yes,
has been empowered.
exactly.
It has been empowered for so long. It looks like a balancing out of the two, right?
Thank you.
Allowing it to be masculine and feminine.
Look at his face, Sharice. Look at his face.
He is like, I am not with her sugar honey iced tea, and I'm not. I am a reformed feminist, so don't get on me, Freddie. I used to be that girl. I'm not that girl anymore.
I'm a reformed feminist. I love it, Sharice. I love it.
Listen.
So I'll say this. I know, Dre. You say that a lot. Like that's what it is, and I get that's what it is.
But where it comes from.
Right? But my thing with even where I'm coming from, that's what it is. But I'm also want to speak to where it should be going, where things should be going. So like even if I'm married, like I'm not gonna say to my wife, like if something has happened and it's not excellent, I'm just gonna be like, well, that's just what it is. Like it's what it is. That's where we at. Like no, like there's room to be better and to improve. And so the thing is that we have to improve to where like I mean, I looked in the comments. I didn't see any guys saying something. Not saying that they didn't say it, but I didn't really see that. But what you'll find, I mean, I don't have exact numbers and facts to back this up, but I feel pretty confident. What you'll find is in this video, you find less men calling him a simp. If it was a woman, you have way more women coming like, girl, I'm gonna save you, and this, that, and the third. And I think that's unfortunate because of the fact of the woman is supposed to support her man. And so when you take that away, there presents cracks in the foundation of the relationship, and then it ends up falling apart. And a lot of times it falls apart when people got children in the mix.
But I think the comment section of anything, I always think that when you look on social media, you look on Twitter, the comment section is a testament to where our society is and what they're thinking. Like that's just like, to me, that's like, I'm saying this kind of video, just like what you said, you're going to say, most women are going to say, oh girl, let me help you, whatever. That's just kind of what it is. And I'm not saying that it's what it should be, right? I'm just saying I'm speaking to where all of this is coming from. And I think Sharice made a great point, Sharice, that it's the balancing out of the masculine energy being so empowered. And there are women being like, girl. And I think there will be a balancing out over time. But I think right now it's just kind of coming out sideways.
When you guys say balancing out of power, like what does that really mean?
Like. I don't know what that's going to look like, Freddie. But Sharice, if you have a comment, please.
So,
because I don't know how I feel about that.
Say it again, Freddie, so I'm clear on what you said.
Like when you guys say there's y'all did this a lot, and the balancing of the masculine and feminine power, all that type of stuff.
Lord,
because the thing is I don't know how many of these podcasts you watch. We're on episode 22, so there's a lot of homework to do if you just coming in today or last week. I don't know when you came in, but if you go back, the reason I bring it up is because I state numerous times in a relationship, the man is the leader. He's the CEO.
Oh, here he goes. Yes.
So. What are you guys saying?
Okay.
You know how I feel about it, Freddie. But go ahead, Sharice.
I've heard you say something similar to that, and I don't agree and I don't disagree, right? I said this last week. I was very clear. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I don't agree or disagree. I said it very clearly last week. For me, I have to feel safe enough in my partnership to allow the man, and again, this could be because of my trauma, to lead me. I've been in situations where men have wanted me to be more submissive, and the things that they were doing in the relationship were very nonsensical, and I could not submit to that foolery. I just was not willing to do that. And also, I think how they grew up plays into it. And, the man that I was raised by plays into it. There are a lot of different factors. I don't disagree. A man is only a leader if he provides. If he not providing, he ain't shit. Am I allowed to podcast?
It's fine.
So-
Okay, good. I didn't know.
So here's my question is my question. As a woman, you just mentioned that you wanted to be submissive with this man and he was doing things that were nonsensical.
So I can leave him alone.
I've asked this to Drea numerous times. Drea always finds a way to sidestep it. Why do women date men who are not showing themselves to be a leader? Why, like when you see he's not a leader, why don't women just leave? Why don't you just leave him alone? He's not worth your time.
It's not that simple, Freddie.
It's not, and also the perception. So when you date somebody, the first couple months you're meeting their archetype. I'm not
Their representative.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Drea. I'm meeting their representative. So I thought maybe he was a leader. I thought he could meet me where I needed to be met. And then as time goes on, it's like he's doing. He said, "Who is this person?"
I don't know.
I've mentioned that in other shows about that hammer. So I mean, I get it's not that cut and dry, but go ahead.
It's not.
So so that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
Okay.
But he presented himself to be this way, and then as time went on, he showed me something different. So ultimately, I'm not with that same person. There was somebody that showed me they were a leader, and I was willing to be submissive, and I felt safe and all the things. And he not around either because he did some foolishness. So it's really it's not black and white like you want it.
It's
to
not.
be.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Who helps you vet men?
Oh, he loves to ask this question, Sharice. And I find it very interesting, Freddie, because before you answer, Sharice, I would like to say, Freddie, you speak from this idealistic place, right? That everybody's emotionally mature and intelligent and can be accountable, and they want to go to therapy and they want to do all these things. Unfortunately, Freddie, that is not how things go. It's not black and white. Not everybody.
What are you talking about, Dre? What are you talking about?
Because you're talking about who's vetting the men and whatever. I'm just saying every time you say
everything you just said, what does that got to do with what I just said?
You're asking her who's vetting the men. Okay,
what?
Go ahead.
Who's helping me? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I want to be
You
clear.
date a guy.
When I date a guy who is helped be like, oh girl, he has this, he got this going on. This is the type of person he is.
Whatever what is your method of vetting these men?
That's a good question, Freddie. I like this question, but I feel like I'm going to answer it, and you're going to use it against me. So I don't know if I want to answer this question.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see it in his face. He ready to attack me.
Exactly. He
Okay. How about?
Because he has an answer that he thinks makes sense.
Do you want to just answer it, or do you want me to answer how I'm?
No, because you mentioned two men that because here's the thing. The reason why I asked that is because you said that you were at a place you were ready to be submissive, so you were submissive prior to meeting these men.
No, I was submissive in my last situation. So
you were in a state of being within yourself, of being submissive to a man prior to meeting this guy, correct?
He's saying we show up submissive. I disagreed last week, and I say I show.
Oh wait, Drea.
I was on a show. I was watching a show.
Is your name Sharice?
I was watching a show last week.
I'm allowed to talk too. You've been talking, okay? Thank you.
I want to hear from Sharice.
We co-host.
No, I don't believe that you show up in that state. I feel like I show up as, the baddie that I am, with all the shit that I come with, right into that relationship. And then I make a conscious choice to either be submissive or to ultimately leave that partnership. Because I can't continue a relationship if I can't be submissive at this point. I can't, because then I feel like I'm not safe. But that's time. I feel like I can't just come in and be like, I'm safe. I'm ready to be submissive to you, man.
He doesn't understand that.
And like you're, oh my God, that's that.
Okay, wait. You said you were a co-host. You a cheerleader, Drea? Was you the co-host or a cheerleader?
I agree with Sharice because it's the same thing I said last.
Yeah, I got that. I got that.
Available. I can't.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So I didn't say you. I didn't. So
Freddie, I agree with you too. So then that would make me your cheerleader at some points in this.
I mean, well.
Thank
what
you.
the cheerleader will be while I'm talking. You like, yes, Freddie, yes, yeah, do it, say it. Like what
Oh
you
my
doing?
God,
But
Freddie.
no, so this is what I'm
Yes,
saying.
Freddie.
So when I say submissive, when I say show up prior to a man being submissive, I'm not saying you go in. That doesn't mean that you're going into the relationship feeling safe with him. That's something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mindset of I'm going. It's like, okay, let me ask you this: you ever been to church? You go to church?
I've been to church. I don't currently go to church.
Okay, so you're familiar with church.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when you go to church and the preacher says he will say, make sure you come expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why the preacher would say this, you come to church expecting for a miracle. You come to church expecting for God to show up and show out. Just like if you went to the Beyonce concert, you're going expecting to have a good time. Any concert you buy tickets to, you're going expecting to have fun. You're not going like, let me see what Beyonce got. I heard she good, but she might.
You know already that
you want me to go into this partnership with these men that are lacking emotional intelligence at time, expecting for this man to have emotional intelligence when
No.
okay.
No. What I'm saying is you enter into a relationship in good faith based on the role that you supply. So, for example, on my end, I go into a relationship with my masculine energy, with the leadership abilities equipped, needed to supply what she needs. I don't go in waiting for her to activate that in me. Because the thing is, I'm just standing there looking at her. If she's standing there with the same thing with me, we just looking at each other. And then eventually we're going to be like, this is dumb. And then everybody walks away when it could have been something good.
I get what you're saying. Do you come in with your feminine energy as well, though?
No.
Curious.
I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman.
Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Now I got to it.
No,
so
exactly.
Men and women both have feminine and masculine energy within them. Like there's not one or the other.
I'm talking about what's being led. What am I leading with?
That's what we were talking about with the balancing. Like, so if you're leading with both and you come into this partnership as a balanced masculine and divine feminine energy, no, Drea.
So here's the thing.
I don't think this is the place.
Go ahead, Drea.
I don't think this is the place for that. I just don't. Because the thing is, it's like when you're showing up to these relationships, I think you go to Beyonce concert. Beyonce has a track record. You know Beyonce's good. You've listened to the music. You know Beyonce. So yes, you show up thinking, I just spent $1,200 on these tickets. It's going to be good. That's how that goes. But you show up to somebody you don't know. Hopefully, maybe you met them through a friend or, something like that. You have some information. But if you don't know somebody and you're going off the representative that you have, I'm sorry. And depending on your age, right? That's a factor in things. You have some experiences behind your belt. You're not going to show up with expecting just in good faith. And I get what you're saying, Freddie, that people show up and they're just like, oh, well, what are we going to do? And men show up having to perform. Women arrive electively choosing to perform, as Masim said. And I get that. But like, for me to submit and do all these things and like chill and take a back seat, yeah, like I need to see something within this person that lets me know I'm not just going to show up and put all my eggs in this basket and be safe. Now, if I get to show up in this way that's idealistic and I met him through somebody, I get to vet him through my mom, through my dad and all these things, that's a different situation. But that's just not what's regularly happening. You're just
so here's the thing. I think we're confusing. I think you guys aren't understanding what I'm saying. I am not saying you submit to a man. I'm not saying that you give yourself to a man. You feel safe and you just you just do a trust fall into him when you meet him. That's not what I am saying.
Okay.
It's not what I'm saying. It's just like with me being masculine and being a leader. I just don't meet a woman and just immediately start leading her down this path. I don't do that because I don't know if that's the one I'm supposed to be leading. But right. I show up in my life exhibiting those behaviors. She sees that in me. She sees that I am a quality man. I am a quality leader, somebody who could potentially lead her children in the future. She sees all these facets. And so right. earlier, mom dropped the comment, said, have I been vetted or something like that? The thing is, I have no problem being vetted. But the thing is every woman I've ever dated has never vetted me. And so the thing is
What
that
do you think that means, though, Freddie?
So listen,
what do you think that means, though? Right, with the climate of our
well,
dating.
I'll tell you what it means.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what it means, that the large swath of our women are misled. They're ill-equipped to be in relationships, because here's the thing. Vast majority of women have not vetted me. And then on top of that, the vast majority, those same women, I've sat there and if I was an evil, no good guy, I could have led women, I could have severely hurt several women, like crushed their souls.
And that's what's happening.
No, because and listen to what I'm saying. I know that's what's happening. I know what is. I know what is. My focus is not what is, because what is isn't working. So that's not my focus on what isn't working. My focus is trying to drive to what works and healing people. And people aren't getting to the place where Sharice was saying earlier that we have this, all these other women have this outlook, and then they revert back to their previous trauma, because that's just what feels safe and it's protectionary. And let me protect myself and let me fight against everybody, because I've been there. And the thing, and that's coming. The emotion that's coming out now, because I've dated women that have this protectionary thing, and I'm just having a simple conversation, but they think that vetting is fighting me. Vetting is not fighting me. You fight me, I will then leave. There is no vetting. Vetting is you have a system in place, hopefully, preferably your father isn't there, other men around you, to be around this man, because men know men like women know women. A man can be around another man, talk to him, and let you know, like, hey, this nigga ain't know nothing. He owns something. He's quality or whatever, and you continue on. But so many women try to vet men on their own, and that is the most foolish thing you could ever do, is try to vet the opposite sex on your own. That's foolish.
That's something I do agree with you on. That is something I
absolutely agree. Freddie, you are talking that shit.
I agree with you on the vetting. The vetting totally makes sense.
This time, Freddie, I'm sorry. I 100% agree with you, because the last.
But let me
Dad did vet. He said,
so Drea,
and I still went with it.
I love it.
So Drea, you go ahead. But while you're talking, I'm gonna bring in Sam. He just tapped in. But go ahead, Drea.
Are we gonna we're doing 4 people. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
Go ahead, Drea.
It is gonna be the Brady Bunch. Yeah, I agree with you about the vetting. I think that's really important. But I think for me, thinking about like what that's gonna look like when, let's say, 10.
Hold on, Drea. I think somebody has their volume up. I hear echo.
Do you hear it now?
I think it's Sam. Sam, I don't know. I don't know if you have us on in the background or something like that, but make sure you don't have us on another device so we don't echo through. Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, I vetted Sam. I mean, vetted. I vetted Sam. I muted Sam. So anyway, so I the thing is, yes, I don't know if we're ever gonna get back to a place where it looks exactly how. I'm just telling you my thoughts. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get back to that exact place. I think in some ways we've gone too far. So I think wherever it lands, it's just going to look differently. It may get better, I hope. But as you've said, and I've said on this podcast, there's a lot of like way people think it's just so far out there. I don't know if it's too far gone to come back to these, like the ways of family structure and
it's not coming back.
Things. I just don't know what it's going to look like. But I do know that women feel a certain type of way, men feel a certain type of way, and it's creating all these gender wars. And then people are showing up to date, like, what you gonna do? Well, I don't know. I ain't gonna do nothing either. And so we're just sort of at this standstill. Listen, it's right. And so the men that are showing up to lead and want to be vetted and want to do all these things, that's just, you're not running across those men all the time anymore. That's just not what it is.
There's a reason for that.
Okay.
Sam, we just Sam, what's your name? Where you from?
This is Sam from Nashville. How y'all doing?
Hi, Sam.
From Nashville.
All right, go ahead and hop in there, Sam.
Look, I would contentiously debate with y'all that it's never going back to where it was, because women are never going to recede or concede as modern women on what they're trying to do. Men have always, from the history of time, their whole program has always been the same. Make something of yourself, create value to yourself and the world, have a woman, provide for man and child. Women have come along and have been given, they were playing those roles traditionally up to a certain point, And once feminism took over, you guys wanted to become men so bad, and we said we said, okay, we'll go ahead and let you have that. We are looking at 2023, and women have everything that they have literally asked for, and none of them are happy. Antidepressants are up, cats are up, wine selling is up. Why? Because these women are perpetually single.
Cats?
And they're wondering why the men are behaving the way they're behaving. I would argue with you that pragmatically, like quite honestly, men's goals have always been fundamental and aligned. Somewhere along the line, women's priorities and goalposts shifted, and that's why we have this issue, because they're not going to go back to the traditional roles that have been with us for a millennia. The only way they will go back is if there's a sudden war, or if it gets really third world country-ish in America, then you will see them become women real quick. You will see women be so subservient, so helpful, so wanting to be in the household and raise children and be great moms. You'll see them return to that if times of peril come.
Sam.
Yes.
So you raised some interesting points. You did raise some interesting points. What I do want to kind of bring this back to the video, because I know we got kind of, we all got kind of off, taking following the road. But the video, were you able to see the video that we played?
I wasn't.
Okay, Drea, can you play it real quick?
Quick synopsis.
Well, the video just basically was a man saying that he will not be friends with any woman that isn't friends with his wife. He doesn't want to disrespect his wife. He doesn't want to embarrass his wife. And any woman that isn't in alignment with his marriage, he's not going to talk to or be near.
The woman has to be his wife's friend.
She has to be his wife's friend. And in the comments, some women were praising him. Sometimes the men weren't. And Freddie brought up the point that if a woman was saying this, that all women would be like, hey, girl, are you okay? I brought up the point that unfortunately in our society, this is looked at as a double standard. Like, women can come out and say something like this, and other women are going to come up to them and say, are you okay? Why is he controlling you? But a man's coming out and doing that, and women are going to praise him. So I
didn't say all women. Let me put that. I don't know why Drea thinks that I'm talking about all women.
Did I say all women?
That.
Oh, I didn't mean
that. I didn't say that. No. But Sam, what are your thoughts?
Look, man, I don't have much on that one. I do know that women tend to benefit from sexism the most. In society, they tend to benefit from double standards the most. The problem comes when women typically see. Look at the shock on their faces. That's because I'm like, let me show you this. Women tend to typically get upset only when the double standard doesn't benefit them. And quite honestly, men don't have that many double standards that benefit us, other than the fact that we're able to be out here and be hunters and gatherers and have, sex without being made fun of by people. Every other thing in our society, in our working society and culture right now, bends towards the arc of women, regardless of what they do.
So Sam, are you saying, Sam, let me ask you this question. Are you saying that if you were married, would you agree with that ideology that you wouldn't have any female friends if they weren't your wife's friend?
I can't say I completely agree. Women are not the same. We don't benefit again. I said I wouldn't completely agree with that, because men and women don't gain the same tangible benefits from one another, because we are different species. Men aren't afforded the same resources and utility that they get from hanging out with women as women get from men, right? There's a much smaller barrier to entry when women are courting or dealing with men, because women tend to deal with a lot of position and attraction. Those are the triggers. It's a little bit. It's kind of like saying, can I go out to the nightclub and go out to the club versus a girl going out to the club? Me going out to the club with my guys and or girls is a completely different scenario than women having girls' nights out and going out with the club. with their girlfriends or guys.
What's the
It's a
difference?
completely different
Yeah,
experience.
what's the difference, Sam?
Well, women are far more susceptible to being vulnerable in those types of situations, to being pursued by men way more than men are. You know, there's a lot of influence. There's a lot of double standards that pay towards them. Your girl goes out to the club. She's wearing whatever she's wearing. She's getting attention from men. Men don't get that same attention when they go out with their boys and or their girls. And most of the times, if the guy is getting attention, it's only because he's had to do something of value to receive that type of attention. You go to a nightclub, where are all the women circled at? They're in the VIP section, and what are they trying to do? Get into the VIP section amongst the men who have actually paid for everything in that section to even afford the opportunity to have a chance with the girls. So it's not the same.
Okay. Sharice?
Yes.
Sharice, yes, please.
That's not me. I'm on the dance floor, minding my business, dancing, shaking the ass around.
I saw you shaking your head. I thought you was about to
No. I could say a whole bunch of things, but that's not. I don't agree.
All right. Well, I'll ask you this. How many men have you broken up with before in your lifetime?
Oh man, quite a few.
Awesome. How many men have broken up with you in your lifetime?
Quite a few. I would say it's about the same. It's pretty even.
What?
What's your point, Sam?
No, look.
Oh,
are you okay? So are you pursuing those men, or are they pursuing you most of the time?
So in this day and age, I've actually pursued men, and men have pursued me. I know that is not the way that it used to go.
Let me ask you this, Sharice. What's generally the case? Are you generally pursuing the men, or are they generally pursuing you?
No, I mean generally, I'm being pursued.
Okay. And what's happening to those men who you are pursuing? Does that relationship ever work out?
I would say wait, hold on, Dre. Wait a minute.
I know, I'm gonna wait.
One, yes, it only didn't work out because we moved to different locations and long distance was not our thing. And the other one, the one that I pursued, I would say yes. It only didn't work out because the timing was off for both of us. Like I wanted to, pursue my career, and he wanted to pursue something that was in a different. I know, girl. That was in a different.
That right there. If we start peeling back the layers, we get to a real answer that gives women the truth, but a truth that they are uncomfortable with accepting. You wanted to be a career woman with the guy that you saw prominent interest in, right? That guy doesn't care about your career if he's going to lead the family. That guy doesn't care about how much you make and what you do for a living. If you see him in the light of being a person that you want to be in a relationship with.
Let me tell you something. Where I'm at in my life, I'm not. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, he's
there. Sam's there.
My career isn't based off of me making six figures or anything like that. Like my life's work is to do the work that I'm doing. So I cannot not do this work because a man doesn't want me to not do this work. Like I was sent here to help women transmute their trauma, and I'm going to do what I came to do. Mm-hmm. And the person that is going to be with me is going to support that and love that and accept that. Now, if I'm in a partnership and I get married and I have children, I'm going to balance that with my family and my children and my husband, but I'm not going to completely eradicate this for anybody. I'm not.
Let me say this before I let you guys go. I think overall, we've talked about women in a career and women chasing a career. I think there, there's levels to this, right? You have a lot of women. I think what Sam is getting at, and when he said about that, you have a lot of women who their focus and their number one priority is their career. You know, we're all intelligent. I feel like I can say this confidently. We all are very intuitive, intelligent adults on this line, and so we can walk and chew gum, as the saying goes. And so there are women. If it's been implied this before, that's not the case. I'm not saying a woman should throw away her career. She has a career and totally throw it away and solely 100% focus on a man. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a problem with women who focus on their career and neglect building a relationship and finding a man who is a proper leader for her. Because the thing is, what you said, Sharice, you're helping women, so on and so forth. That's admirable. The thing is that you still have to invest into being. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just speaking generally, because obviously I don't know you like that. What I'm saying is, any woman like you still has to invest in being submissive, invest in that vetting process of a man to find that man who's the proper leader for you, the man who could properly lead you in what you're doing, so where you can do what you do and you can do truly to desire your heart, and this man can envelop you and encompass you, provide and protect you, so where that you are encapsulated in a safe place to where you can do the work that you're doing, build a family, do everything that you want to do, and be who you truly want to be at the end of the day. But you have so many women who do not do that. It's their career. Then if I find a man, that's fine, but I'm trying to make this money and get the bag. Go ahead, Drea.
And so on that point, I just like to speak to the other side of that, because
go ahead, Drea. But hey, I want to thank Sam and Sharice. Thank y'all for coming on.
Keep them on real quick, because I want to. What happened?
Oh,
no,
I was gonna say keep talking.
I know, but I'm still talking to them.
Okay, go ahead.
To that point, I would just like to say, saying that, the women focusing on their careers and they need to find a man who's they're gonna be submissive to, and they need to. I always speak to the other point of that, is that whatever dynamic that you are in a relationship that works for you, that does not work for everybody. So it's not everybody that the woman she can't focus on her career, or she can't focus on her career, and she got to make sure she balances this and make sure she does this with her family. That's not a dynamic that works for everyone. That just doesn't. So if that's a dynamic that works for you and you want to be a traditional woman and you want to have your man lead, then go and do that. But there are other dynamics that work for people. And so if you and your husband decide that you're going to go do your career and maybe he's going to focus on the home, that can also work too. There's a lot of different dynamics out there, and there's nothing that anybody should or has to do.
Right. But yeah, I'm speaking to the women who want a man to lead them, which is the vast majority of women. Most women don't want a man that's sitting at the house, not working, taking care of the kids,
understand what you're
and
saying,
flipping.
I
mean, do you have those outlier situations and all type of stuff? Of course. But Sharice, Sam, thank y'all. Make sure we here every week. Y'all are always welcome. Appreciate y'all for hopping on. But yeah, we that's definitely that's status quo. Whatever works for you works for you. In the words of Lady Drea, she is all about individual empowerment. What I'm saying, I'm speaking to outcomes. And the thing is that if you as a woman know you want a man, you want that Dwayne Wayne man that's going, if you can tell me if you want that, huh?
Did you say Dwayne Wade?
No, Dwayne Wayne. I didn't say Dwayne Wade. I didn't say him.
You're saying Dwayne Wade, then.
Dwayne Wayne from a different world from last. If you want to hear last week, go back to episode 21 on the YouTube. Check it out. But if you want that type of man who can tell you what to do, then he can tell you what to do. You want that man to stand up. If that's the outcome that you want, there's certain things that's what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to what the vast majority of women want. Or at least what they say they want. It's not women walking around saying, I want a man. I want to go out and get the money, take care of the family, lead the family. And I want my man to stay behind and follow me. And I want to be the leader, and I want to take everything head on. I haven't met, I'm not going to lie. I have met women that are like that, but that's been few and far between. Most women want their man to protect them. When they go out, they want their man to open their door. When they go out, they want their man to pump the gas.
I understand all of that, Freddie. I'm just saying within those dynamics, you can still have different nuances of a relationship. And it doesn't just necessarily mean the one dynamic of the man is the leader and that's it. I'm always going to bring that point home because I know lots and lots of people, especially in Los Angeles, who have different dynamics, and that is not the
Oh
case.
my God, you would bring up Los Angeles as the city. I know a bunch of people.
It is, but
Los Angeles and New York is not the cities.
I don't ever like to speak in anything that's like, here's what you're supposed to do, and if you do anything outside of that,
that's not what I said, Dre.
I know.
I said that. I said outcome.
It's like traditional, and I will always, as that's why we have this podcast. That's why we started it. I will always.
I said outcomes. I said outcomes. The outcome that you want.
Because I still want to be Drea and have nuggets of this too. And I understand that's why we're doing this. Is people say you can't do both, but yes, you can.
No, you can. You actually can.
Yes, you can.
You can't because
you totally can.
You can't. Because it depends on you. The outcome. If you want a man to be a man that's a leader, will not exist with a woman fight him for the lead. It won't happen.
I'm not fighting anybody for the lead. I'm just talking about I'm still going to be Drea. I'm not trying to fight. No.
We know Drea is. She's neurotic. She's all that. That's a personality trait. That's who you are. We get that. You can be that and rest there, and the man is with you. He gonna know that, and he like, that's Drea. That's fine.
I just think people are people, and there's all the personalities and dynamics in this world does not lean to you have to follow this one way, and that's it. I just don't believe that. I will always push that.
No, I'm not. Look, I'll say it over and over again. Nobody has to do anything but breathe, be born, and die. That's all you have to do. But if you like, for example, if I want to be a millionaire, there are things that I have to do. It's not like, I can still do what I want to do and I'm gonna be a millionaire. No, there are things that I have to do. I have to, if I want to be a billionaire, like there are money practices that I have to adopt, that I have to do. There's nuances in here. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Like, no. If you're gonna have all this liquidity in your bank account, you cannot be a serial spender. Because it won't accumulate. You cannot do it.
But to add to your analogy and to add to the times that have changed, 50 years ago, there was no such thing as a TikTok this and a YouTube this, and they can call those the outlier things. People are like, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be all this and that. I just talked to a friend today. Her neighbor's a TikTok star making $5 million a year out of freaking nowhere. And so things are changing. It's different. I don't know where all this stuff, no, let me finish. I don't know where all this stuff is going to land, right? So it's like, if you want to go out there and you want to be a millionaire, you want to make money, what it used to look like to be a millionaire and make money back in the day, it's not the same thing anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. And you can do it now to be a millionaire. That makes sense with your analogy.
I'm not speaking to your occupation. I'm speaking to common things that you have to do to have a liquidity of $1 million in the bank. It don't matter what you do. You could be a drug dealer. You could be a TikTok person, a doctor, a lawyer. You could be a CEO. You could be a construction worker. Go ahead.
The paths have changed. That's what I'm saying.
So whatever you're going to do, whatever the occupation is, like, yes, times change to where different occupations come about. Like a computer scientist wasn't a thing 100 years ago. A computer engineer wasn't a thing 100 years ago. But what I'm saying is that even with any occupation you have, there are financial habits that you must do. You have to. There's no way around it, and it hasn't changed since the dawn of time. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that TikTok person still has to work hard, be organized, all these types of things.
It's not conventional. It's not conventional. That's what
Who cares if this is conventional? And I'm not talking about convention. I'm not talking about convention. I'm talking about concepts and precepts that never change.
Think about the relationships being traditional. That's what I think.
Because here's the thing, a TikTok influencer is conventional.
I mean,
it actually is conventional. Like you say it's not conventional because of what you grew up as. We're in a different time. To take a page out your book, we're in a different time. So
thank you.
Listen. Wait, just listen for a second.
Freddie,
listen for a second.
I've been listening.
No, you keep jumping in and saying stuff, and I stop talking and say go. You be like, it's not.
No, Freddie.
So
I'm listening.
occupations, those occupations may not be conventional to you and or me when we were growing up, but now they are now conventional. They are conventional occupations.
You're just proving my point.
Go ahead.
You're literally just proving my point, Freddie. You're literally just proving my point.
Oh, that's all you wanted to say? Was I proving your point?
Freddie, yes, because literally every time you talk, we're having a conversation. So I'm going to say something and jump in. That's how conversations work. Okay. So you're literally just proving my point that times have changed. Just the same way relationships will not look the same in about, I don't know, 20 years. They don't, maybe it's weird now, but they may look differently later. That's all I'm saying.
So what I'm speaking to is like you're talking about specific occupations. I'm speaking to the concepts, because what I said, I didn't speak to an occupation. I said having a liquidity of $1 million in the bank, being rich. That's what I'm speaking to. Whatever the occupation is neither here nor there. But whatever your occupation is and whatever the money that you make, there are things that everybody has to do to build up to where they have a high net worth of being rich. It has not changed since the beginning of time. You have to be responsible, and being responsible looks like a specific thing. It has not changed. Sure. It don't matter what you do. TikTok star, drug dealer, doctor, lawyer, construction worker, trash man. It is what it is. And so when it comes to relationship, it's the same thing. There are concepts that have not and will not change. It don't matter what you're talking about relationship, because it's an outcome. I'm speaking of outcomes. If you want a high net worth outcome, there are things that you have to do. Have to. There's no way around it. And that's what I'm saying. Regardless of if you're in a relationship in LA or New York or Iowa, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
I'm speaking more of to having a successful relationship and what that looks like. And it's different for different people.
What does that look like? When you say successful relationship, what does it look like?
Freddie, when you talk about relationships and what they should be, and Sam coming on and saying all these things about women and women this, and we're all, we're the reason that the men are, and all this stuff, it's crazy to me. Like, people can do different things. And I will always, 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 always push that. Yes, a successful relationship to me, like what my boss has with his wife, that does not work for me, but it's successful for them. Their dynamic is crazy and it doesn't make sense to me. But what a successful relationship looks like to me may look differently to you. And that's all I'm saying, especially with the time that we're in. Dynamics and relationships are different now. They're different. Our society.
What I'm saying, what is success? What does that look like?
To me, in a relationship, two people being exactly who they need to be together. And that to me is successful. Nobody's feeling like they're being controlled. Everybody can be who they are, and you can live parallel and grow together. That to me is a successful relationship. Now, whatever that looks like to you, you go ahead and do it. If you want to let your man lead and whatever, then do it. If you want to let your woman lead, then go ahead and do it. If you want to have an open relationship, go ahead and do it. It's all about communication and the two people deciding that whatever they decide works for them. That's what I think is a successful relationship. Like, I don't get to decide what these other two people are doing is whatever. I can have my opinions on it, but if they're walking around skipping down the street happy, what do I care? What do I care if she's the one who's bringing home the money and he's at home? Maybe it's not for me, but if that makes them happy, it is what it is.
And I agree. Like, if that's what they want, like she's like truly happy and he's truly happy with that, then there it is. What I'm saying is that there's a problem. There's a problem if this woman wants this man to open the doors for be chivalrous and be a man, but he's not doing that. He's at home sitting and he's at home taking care of a family. She like with her friend, like, oh, why won't he be a man? They walk out and somebody says something to her and he just stands there and like, look like.
But why can't he open the door and take care of the kids? Why is it either or? Why can't that same guy do that?
I'm giving an example overall of masculinity, like being a masculine leader man. So like what I'm saying is I'm going back, like I said, just to the outcomes. If you as a person want a particular outcome, because the thing is, I've had this conversation numerous times, women I know and women I don't know, they want a particular man to step up as a man, but yet they want to be the man. They want to challenge him on trying to be a leader.
And
They
that I
want the
agree
man.
with you. That I
They
agree with
want
you.
the man to be like, babe, no, come on, this is what we're gonna do. They want the man to have a plan. They want the man to be knowledgeable. They want the man to be a leader. They want to be able to call their husband with anything going wrong. I can call my husband and it's fixed. It's done. They want to be able to do that, yet they emasculate, and then they want to fight for the power. They don't want to cede the power, or cede, not even gonna say the power, cede the leadership to him. Because the thing is if you allow anybody just to sit back and not do anything, they get comfortable there.
Exactly.
And that's what becomes normal. And so then when you call them to then step up and they haven't been stepping up, they're not going to step up.
Well, that I agree with you, right? That I absolutely agree with you. If you are committed to getting that type of man and that is what you want, you have to go look at other relationships that are doing that and see what they do. If that's
what I'm
want.
saying.
Yeah.
That's my point. The outcomes. What's the outcome that you want? I don't care nothing about. I don't care nothing about what works for you, what works for you, what works for you, because the fact of the matter is the majority of women want a man that at any point in the day, you can call him and he will save you.
Right.
That's what you want.
But even within those dynamics, Freddie, it's not black and white. That's all. It's just not.
I mean, yeah, when you get to like specific, minute details, all this other type of stuff, like, yeah, will it change? I'm speaking generally. All these things I'm saying are generally. I'm not speaking about, well, Friday at 2:00 p.m. he did this and then you did this and then that's not right. That's not what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to generally, because the thing is, if you want a man that at any point in the day, like you trying to handle it, but it's starting to get a little squirrely, that, you know what, let me call my man and this is taken care of. If you want that type of man, you have to hold him to that standard. You have to put him in the place where that's where he shows up day in, day out. You can't put him into a place where like, no, I'm gonna be me. I ain't gonna dim my light for nobody. And no, wait, no, get your, no, this is what we gonna do. Wait, hold on. Why you just making, no, I need to be there. Wait, what you doing? Bring it here. Let me, okay. Wait, no. And it's like, well, if that's the case.
And I think one of the beautiful things about this podcast, even though we want to wring each other's necks at times, I think that it calls for people to maybe rethink how they are dating. Because unfortunately, the average person is dating blindly. They like literally aren't. What is wrong with you? Why are you?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This over dramatic reaction. Yes, the average person is dating blindly. And so, yes, I do think our podcast will bring some of these things to light. I have never been saying that, oh, wow, this is just, whatever, and people should just keep doing all these things. I'm saying I'm speaking to what is, and sometimes it's navigating through that. Now, there are questions and conversations that we've had that I'm sure people maybe will be thinking about some of these things, especially vetting their partner. I'd probably say 99% of the people watching this probably don't vet. You even said, I've never been vetted, right? Like I've never thought to say, hey, dad, well, I mean, he's in Texas anyway. Hey, dad, talk to this guy, FaceTime with this. Like I've never even thought that. So this stuff goes back to like parenting, childhood, all these things, what you see. I mean, it's just like modeling on top of modeling. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe someone will call. I mean, I don't even know how you have that conversation to say, I don't know if you saw someone being vetted and in your family, in your life, to even like have that knowledge. But a lot of people don't. Yeah, you may call your girlfriend. You may look on his Instagram, but Instagram is about as far as vetting as people go. That's about it.
I mean, I'll say this: if I had a daughter, it wouldn't even be like I'm like pushing it on her. It's like it's her having that information to know like you have a resource. I'm your dad. I am here for that resource. Right. I know men. All you gotta do is just bring him around me. And the thing is we live in this world like it ain't nothing to catch a flight. It ain't nothing like, yo, I'm going home. Like, babe, come with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he got to meet the whole family, but in your case, that you got a man, at least put him around your dad. You got brothers, uncles, like you place them in that environment, go hang with the boys. They hang out with them. They'll be able to see what type of dude this is. They'll be able to know. It's the same thing with me. I got a woman. I'm not just trying to vet this woman solo. If at all possible, I'm trying to bring this woman meet my mom, be around other women that I may know to get that vetting. I mean, obviously certain women I may have to take with a grain of salt, because I mean, I'm probably friends with some women that actually like me. So if I bring the chick around her, she's like, I don't know about her, but she just might be trying to sabotage it. But the fact of the matter is, at least bring her around some female people in the family. Now, I get some people don't have that luxury, and even I'm one of them. I don't really have that luxury where I got a lot of women, or I got trusted women to bring this woman around to really get that vetting. And that's where we find ourselves. Well, you gotta do the best you can with what you're given.
Also, meeting families when you're dating somebody, for some people, that's a big deal. Meeting somebody's mom, meeting somebody's dad, at that point, we're taking the relationship to, like a different level at that point.
That's interesting you say that, because people make that a big thing when
they make it a big thing. Yeah. They make it
it really isn't, because the big part of it, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. I'm not saying the person meets your whole family, just be at the family reunion, like kicking it with everybody and just
right, but
I think it's more so of you guys interaction. Like, you're dating this guy and once you start dating somebody, like, I like this guy, I want to see where it goes. Once you get to that point, that's when it's like, okay, you're some future there. Then he meets the same sex. Like, if you're a woman, you want that man to meet other men. I'm not saying you got to meet your mom, and you don't need to meet any women in your family. Meet the men, vet, get that, and then, because things, you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time, because that's what I hear a lot as well. Women dating dudes like, because they're so fearful about being submissive, because they've been burnt, because they spent all this time with this guy and met his representative just to find out he can't lead a church mouse to water.
Well, I think if you're in a situation, like I'm in, which I have brought men around other guy friends that I trusted, and you do get a different perspective on that guy, having them be around other males. So that could be an option if you do have the luxury of having good male friends, or if you have your dad in town, because men and women can pick up on things that, maybe the opposite sex can't. But
that's read what you just highlighted.
Sharice, my dad definitely told me he didn't like the last guy I dated. He was right. He liked another man. I dated him because he sees himself in him. He loved this guy, but my dad has some traits as a man I dislike. Exactly. I mean, and that's the other thing too, right? So it's like, at a certain point, you get older and you can't blame things on your parents anymore, right? Like, your parents are people too. They got their faults, they got their ups and downs, and you kind of hope that, like, maybe some people do some therapy, they do some emotional evolving and kind of see some stuff. What's up, Auntie Lucy? But, if they can't, and then you are seeing that maybe your father isn't that person to bring, if you don't have that luxury, it's like, you don't want to do that. And so you kind of got to look the other way. And if they are showing up like your parent, maybe you got to run, you know what I mean? But it's like, I do think it's important. And that's sort of the theme of this whole podcast is vetting. But look, Sam just said women give one another terrible advice. I think friends can just give each other terrible advice, because if everybody's single, nobody knows anything anyway. I mean,
I think both of you guys are right in your assessment. Going back to what you were saying, I think the key thing with vetting as a woman is not that. It's also fashioning, like having those conversations with your dad. Like, hey, like, Dad, is this man a good leader for me? Not, do you just like him? Because here's the thing, I could like a guy, but like I've had friends that I like. Now, if you ask me, can they lead you as a woman in a relationship? I don't know about that. I like him. That's my man, 20 grand, but I wouldn't say date this nigga. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's two different things. So you want to get that clarification as to what, going back to the outcome that you want. You want a man to lead you, and you want the man to submit. Because the thing is, you go back to the wedding, your father walks you down the aisle and gives your hand to this other man. That's signifying, saying like, hey, I am not your protector anymore. I am not here as your first line of defense. When you have an issue, you don't call me no more. You call him first. And when you understand that, that's when you start to ask those better questions to your dad, or if you're mad, your mother, like you want to get down to the nitty gritty. So, but to what he said, like I do think friends give friends bad advice. Yes. But I will say women give women worse advice than men give to me.
You're gonna emphasize
because here's the thing: men will give each other bad advice. But the thing is there is always a delineation between a woman. Like, once a dude tells that guy, like, yo, I like this chick, I'm trying to be with this chick, then it's like, as a dude, you like, all right, okay, cool. And then like, and usually as a dude, like our advice kind of drops. They're like, all right, well, look, if you want to be with her, then you need to, you probably don't want to do that. You probably should be doing it.
What do you think women are saying to each other?
Women, y'all women. Okay, so I'm like, okay, it's anecdotal. I'll make that clarification. It's anecdotal, but I've been a fly on the wall in numerous women conversations, and these conversations that y'all have about men, and it just be all over the place sometimes. 1 minute he good, oh girl, woo woo, but then he did. Ooh, girl, what's his sign? What's his sign? He a Leo. You a Taurus, girl. I don't know about that. I don't know. What? This is what we doing?
No, if he's a good guy, Freddie, and he's showing up for my friend and she likes him, I don't care that he's a Gemini.
I'm not talking about you, Drea. I'm not talking about you. I said women. I said women, not Drea.
I understand these circles of
Stop making this about you, Drea.
No. I'm speaking to these circles because I know these conversations. Don't go there, Freddie. Don't go there. I'm just saying, yes. I think knowing a little astrology never hurt anybody. But if a guy is showing up for you and you love him and he loves you, I'm not going to just harp on the fact that he's a Gemini. I'll let it go.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg of some of the bad advice y'all get from y'all friends. But
if he listen, it depends on where they are in their dating. Because like me and Sharice said, men go, men and women do it. It's not just men. Everybody shows up with their representative. I try to get to the mask off as soon as possible.
Men give sign advice, astrology advice? I'm
saying showing up as your representative, Freddie, not sign advice. The average man is not giving sign advice. That is
we are not don't know dumb stuff like, hey, she a Leo? Hell no, nigga. You a Sagittarius. Well, you rise the moon too. She's setting sun. Hell no, nigga. Run away.
Sag actually really goes together. Just saying. But anyway, you guys, we've gone. We didn't even get to our other topics today, and that's
let's pull it up. I mean, because I actually don't have much to say about it.
What? We'll just do one because we're not going to do all of them.
The ashy hand man.
The ashy. Okay, yes, but we're going to keep it short because we want to keep it too long. Okay, hold on. Let me bring it up. It might.
So this video that Dre is about to play is the man. He's talking about something that that people do, which I'm pretty sure when you guys see the video, you won't be too surprised. But
hold on.
The one that I want is.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's do it again.
Are you single, Jonathan?
No,
you're not.
I have a lover, and then I have love interests. The one that I want is not available, so I have to occupy my time dealing with women that I'm not interested in that much.
You actually just did the quiet part out loud.
That's what happens,
Would you be honest with them that this is happening?
I'm not sure.
No.
A hopeless romantic society.
Wow.
Are you single, Jonathan?
No.
Well, there you go.
All right, so let me just clear the deck really quickly. So here's the thing. Like you could look at the guy. The guy, he's not an attractive guy. It's not like he's fly. His hands really ashy.
Getting all these women.
No, but here's the thing. What do those women look like? He probably got a cavalcade. He probably got a gaggle of ones and twos. Like,
not the one.
Like if he got a gaggle of ones and twos, like probably got a whole bunch of chunksters and all types of stuff, where it's like, oh, okay, well, they want to get hit, so somebody got to hit them. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, you look at that type of guy. He said it out loud, and then the dude said, "Are you truthful with him?" He's like, The thing is that even the chicks that and here's the thing: people made fun of. damn it, anybody who's having sex has been where he's been. Women got the food man, the dude, they got all the different, women make jokes about that all the time, how they got to do to take them out to eat. Women do this all the time. Dude hit them up like, oh yeah, they hungry, hit them up, or they just text him, what you doing? Because they hungry. What? You know, like, so women got the different dudes that they get involved with, they use, that's just as bad. Men got, everybody do it. The thing is my issue is that hopefully he not feeding these women dreams and got them thinking that he wants to actually build a future with them. Like there's that possibility of that. If he's doing that, that's where I got a problem. That's my number one problem. If he's doing that, that's a problem. Because the thing is, I've been there, but when I was there, I don't be feeding these shit. I don't feed nobody no dreams. It's just that I'm prime time, and if you want to occupy some of my time, I may give you some of that time, but it's that valuable to where it's like, oh, okay, I can accept it.
Well, first of all, I think why we focused on this video was the fact that women are allowing this. And I think on some level, if a guy like that is saying he got lovers, like plural, and then the one he likes is not available, it just calls into question what we talk about, right? Like clearly no one's vetting him. And look, it could be the thing where some of these women just want to have sex. Like that's also a possibility, because he said lover. He didn't say girlfriend. He didn't say girlfriend. But you know, it brings up the question because everybody's like, oh, it's nobody knows whose fault it is, right? Like men are getting lazy, women are, you know, everyone's saying women want to be men and all this stuff. All the dynamics, everything is all over the place. This man is like, the woman that I like isn't giving me the time of day. So I have a bunch of women that I'm just like messing around with. God knows. I mean, I can't imagine this guy is breaking many hearts, but I think what I wanted to focus on was just like, why are women allowing themselves to be treated like this? And I think it just goes back to bad modeling. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Why?
That's what we're talking about, Freddie. I'm just saying
they having sex.
I understand that, but I'm like, he could be emotionally hurting these women. We don't know. But I'm talking about the bigger question of women in general, why you're accepting crumbs, why you're taking all this stuff. And look, it leads back to a whole bunch of stuff, bad modeling, trauma, all the things, men realizing that, you know, exactly, women are picking these men. That is correct, Sam. And men are realizing they don't have to do as much. They don't really have to show up as much. They don't got to make any effort. They don't got to do it. They can just text you WYD and just come over and that's it. And so it's just like that part of it is getting, and everyone's just having sex these days. Everyone's just having sex, don't care, you know, and it's awful. So this guy with the ashy hands gets to stand there in the park with his little alcohol and say he got a bunch of lovers, and it blows. I'm like, who, where, how? I do not understand. So I think it just calls for everybody to just, even him, to step up and maybe put a little lotion on his knuckles, you know?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, women still want a little thing. Women want a little thing.
What are you? I say that all the time. I said that there are women who want a little thing, and you do not agree with me. They don't want a bunch of different ones.
And that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like it's companionship. Like here's the thing. We all want companionship. That is a natural desire. That is a need of humans, companionship. All these, and what you'll find is all these women telling me, I don't need no man. Well, if that's all it is, I'll be by myself. I can do bad all by myself.
Their vibrators. They're like, I'm good.
Stupidest thing ever. They got their vibrator until a man grabs them and is in the bed and holding them, and then you feel that warmth, and especially if you got that hammer, you feel that hammer on you. You like, damn, this vibrator like can go all night and got batteries, but the whole enveloping, that just does something to you because it gets you to that point.
There's nothing like human contact, obviously.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying is, like I said, what you'll find is, like, I know so many women who are professionally making bank. I know off the top of my head, women that make over 200K a year, 2,000 solid, drive Mercedes, good. But here's the thing. they're so masculine, they can't find a man that's breaking. They try to put on that face like, I don't need a man. These are women that I've either known or know. And it's like, I see them and I can see them dying inside. They putting this face on. I don't know, man. All I need is my job and I make this money. I can travel, da da da. But each one of these women have dated a man who is trash. And I see them, I'm like, why are you dating this man? Like, this is one chick I know.
Okay, and then Freddie, we gotta wrap it up.
Like she was dating this guy who didn't have a car. It's like the typical thing of he driving her car, her Mercedes, around the city. Like, that's so common. I know so many women who making bank in that place, and you be like, how you get there?
Yeah, but maybe the other men it's too much for them. Who knows? No,
because the thing is the quality man you want is not going to put up with it. He's not dealing with it.
A woman that has a career?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Not a woman who has a career. A woman who has a career, who's powerful in a career, and she brings that masculine energy home and then tries to exert it on him.
Sure.
Because I this is one chick wanted to talk to me, same boat. I'm like I'm not about to deal I'm not like the thing is, if somebody heard it, generally they'd be like, oh, Fred was intimidated by her. Not intimidated by her at all. I'm just not dealing with it. You're not about to talk to me any type of way.
Okay.
Because it's not about to happen. I'm just gonna leave. I'm done. Who are you talking to? I'm a grown ass man.
Exactly.
You're a woman.
And that's it. That does not work for you and doesn't work for her. And then you go and you find somebody else.
But she still keep coming back and like trying to drop little things.
Did you have sex with her, Freddie?
I did.
Okay, well, all right. Thank you guys. There it is.
I did drop a little, you know. It was accidental though.
All right. Well,
but that's why I'm honest. I am honest with women like, hey, look, I don't know if I'm the road you want to go down.
Oh my God.
Until you know.
And on that note, oh God, it has been a juicy podcast, you guys.
It was a drought, but I finally made you mad again. So it was a drought. We went 15 episodes. So.
God, I want to punch you in the throat. Anyway, make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. We maybe
I don't know what Felicia talking about.
I love my auntie. I love her. I'm Lady Dre Renee. This is Freddie B, you guys.
Hey, the Token of the Truth. Make sure you guys follow, like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow us on IG. Follow us on YouTube. The Token of the Truth. And we up.
Bye.